Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Media Truder, and welcome to Dead in Vinland. Dead in Vinland is basically a survivally, choosy sort of a game, except featuring more Vikings than usual, which is good, because Vikings make everything better. Just in case you don't know, Vinland refers to areas across the coast of Canada and Greenland that Vikings actually went and settled, because Vikings are seriously badass and went over and settled in parts of America like 500 years before Columbus did, because yeah, Vikings are just cool. So welcome to Vinland, where would you believe we've ended up crash dear oh flipping dear, who would have predicted that, and my lovely Viking family, who are just chilling out and doing things on these 5 screens that represent what my camp looks like. Basically the way this all fits together is you need to figure out how to assign your 4 family members to actually do stuff. So for example, this woman here, she's been assigned to fetching water, so she needs to go down and get, presumably, water out of the sea. However, that water is not drinking water, so as a result we're going to actually need to, like, you know, convert it into drinking water by, you know, boiling it. So that's kind of rather important at this exact moment in time. In fact, that's probably one of the most important things at the very beginning of the game, managing your water and your wood and your fire, because every time you decide to convert some non-drinking water into drinking water, you'll notice the fire gets a little bit less intense, because presumably you had to, like, I don't know, stoke it up in order to make it boil the water or whatever. And as the fire gets less intense, it gets less good at converting water into purified water, so we're going to need to shove some more wood on it at some point as well. But 77% is okay for the time being. So you're balancing water versus wood versus fire efficiency. That's the sort of trade-off you have to make in the early game. We also, you'll probably notice at this point, don't exactly have much of a camp. We kind of need to build that right now. So my main Viking guy, Eric himself, possibly Eric the Red, we don't know, he doesn't look very red, so probably not. So Eric the Not Red is basically building a lumber camp, because we need to produce wood, because wood's what keeps the fire going, so it's pretty bloody important, because everyone's got survival stats. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, everyone's basically got fatigue, hunger, sickness, injury, and depression. If any single one of those hits 100% for any one of your 4 team members, that's game over. So you've got to keep an eye on that, and you've also got to make sure you're assigning people to do the right job, because everyone's got a whole bunch of flipping skills, innate and acquired. So for example, if I were to, you know, tell Moira, who is a suspected witch, and that's hopefully very good at healing, if I just said to her, you just go and carry the water, she probably wouldn't be thrilled at that because she's not very physically strong. So as a result, her fatigue would go up very, very quickly. So you've got to make sure people are being assigned to the right jobs. So Eric should probably just keep getting on with his crafting. Meanwhile, yeah, though Moira is not the best at this because she's not very courageous and thus her depression will go up pretty quickly, she's probably the best person to be getting on with exploring. Exploring the shipwreck, you know, the boat we arrived in that's crashed, so she needs to go and get the supplies out of that. Technically, there is one person who is better than that, and that is Eric's daughter over here. Hang on, what's her... I can't remember everybody's name. Kari, that's it. Kari's the daughter, Eric's the guy. Bloody wed. I'm just going to say bloody wed, and we're just going to stick with that. And Moira. Technically, the daughter, Kari, because she's got high courage, is very good when using the shipwreck action. However, she's also very good at exploring, so we probably want to send her out into the world to actually go explore, find new areas outside the camp, and also go hunting, because she's pretty stealthy. So Moira stays exactly where she is and goes scavenging. That's absolutely fine. Now, Bloodywed, you're probably not really that good at fetching water, but to be honest, there's not a huge amount else for you to do right now. Actually, we're okay for water, so what I said we should probably do is, yeah, you, Kari, continue exploring, because you are good at that. However, speaking of exploring, we've already got one area close by to us on the map, which is, yeah, we found this here nice area, a wheat patch. So how about we actually go and harvest that? Are you any good at harvesting? You are not terrible at it, to be honest, but sure, let's actually get some flipping wheat in here. So rather than gathering water, we've got plenty of that just for the time being, she is instead going to gather together some lovely wheat. So fatigue goes up by 10, up to 43%, plus 5 wheat, so now we've got 10 at the camp. So over in our thing here, yeah, we arrived with a handful of raw fish we scavenged out of the sea, we've got some basic stuff we scavenged off the boat, and thanks to Moira doing scavenging, we're going to get some more too. So other than that, I'm pretty happy with where everyone is right now, unless you're... Oh! Does that not count as your action? I kind of assumed that was going to count as her action. But possibly that's just like an extra freebie, albeit you're burning through your fatigue pretty quickly. So, let's actually, you know what, as you're a bit tired, I'm just going to send you to the shelter so you can chill out there so you won't take any more fatigue because I'm a bit worried about you. So everyone's in a good position. So now we see what happens this afternoon. So she gets a bunch of resources out of the ship. However, fatigue is going up a bit fast, as is depression. So we need to keep an eye on her. Eric, meanwhile, in the afternoon, his crafting's getting better because he's doing more crafting. And the lumber camp is getting along too. Hopefully that should be finished up tomorrow. And you, meanwhile, yeah, you're just having a little bit of a rest, so your fatigue sneaks down. And Kari heads out into the world. She burns through some water, she has to take water with her. And she has explored a forest, so we've got a new area on the map to go and explore, which is just marvellous. However, would you believe it's quite tiring going out and exploring. And now into the first evening. So, everyone ought to have some food, one bit of drinkable water per person, and make sure fire intensity is high enough so it won't die down during the night, because, yeah, fire drops like 10 or 20% overnight thereabouts, so we might need to stoke the fire. And apparently, I'm going to be needing more water than I've got. So, let's actually go and say, yeah, water up, and water... Water can't go up. What if I were to put a bit more wood on the fire? Now can I water? No. Because I think it needs to be 1 minimum. So we don't actually have enough water to go round. So, good start. Good start, everybody. And in addition, let's just go check out that new area we just found. That was a forest area full of glowy things. There is a Tinder Tree here. Aha! Now, a Tinder Tree is rather useful. Because, yeah, Tinder in this game, if the fire happens to go out, you're going to need some form of mysterious fire Tinder mushroom thing to restart it. Because that's how you start fires in this game, with a mushroom. I don't know, that's just how it is. So I could gather a bit of wood, check the sap, or check the fungus. Okay, let's check some sap here. And you could potentially do that. Sure. Let's just send you over here nice and quick. What exactly do we have here? Very sticky with a nice light amber colour. Sugary smell. You lick the sap and it tastes amazing. It's as sweet as honey. So gather some or keep drinking it. No. Gather it because we might need it. Skill check. Ah, that was a skill check. Marvellous. So we managed to actually fill that with some delicious liquid. If you leave it to ferment, it will produce a delightful mead. +3 mead. Marvellous. So not everyone gets water, but someone can have booze instead. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad deal. And yeah, it's still evening, so it would rather appear that, yeah, actually, these are basically just freebies for the time being. So we may as well send you again, because that didn't actually seem to make you any more tired, and you're the best at harvesting. So head over here and check out the mushrooms as well. So I could burn the tree that produces tinder mushrooms, I'm not sure why you do that, or I could harvest it with a 78% skill check. And that is bad luck. You scratch the bark with a knife to extract tinder, unfortunately it rips a bit too far and nicks your finger. Right, so you do get the tinder, but you suffer as well. So now I can relight the fire if it goes out, but I've picked up 8% injury. That's not too bad, really. And we may as well also gather some wood. Who's the best at forestry? Apparently both of you are about even. He's in good shape right now because he's got like a good healthy constitution. So I'll send Eric himself after this. So pretty simple for him. He just basically gets 10 fatigue and swaps that for a bit of wood. Now he can also do, yeah, a coin flip to gather some more, but he might get injured. So let's stop there and not do any more. So basically, yeah, you're balancing potentially more reward versus a risk of picking up something negative for your character. So that's this place, for the time being at least, actually all done. Now as that's the case, how about we do a little bit of hunting here? Because, Kari, you are stealthy, so potentially you're less likely to get injured and more likely to find some stuff, and you're also our best hunter, so I probably want to get you hunting as soon as possible, because we want to actually level up your hunting. So let's see if you're going to catch something here. So I could lie in wait, so that's a stealth check, or track animals. Well, you're better at stealth, so how about you lie in wait? Good, good, 95% skill check passed. You find the perfect spot to hide in the wheat patch, and nothing moves. And unfortunately, Not unfortunately, I've actually managed to get rid of some fatigue without actually having to, like, waste a turn. Marvellous. And even better, a small rodent actually climbed on my face to reach the wheat. So I get myself 4 raw meat as well. I don't think I can cook it yet, however. Yeah, hunt here again. Now you're actually a little bit less tired. So get straight back on that, please. And this time, how about we actually try tracking some animals? So let's actually try and track this time. So this is a bit more. Nice! Got lucky there. Presumably, that will get me a bit more meat. So rodent prints and feces in the dirt. Follow the trail to a small hole. Place some wheat as bait nearby and wait. Its inhabitants eventually come out. And it looks unlike anything you've seen before, but meat is meat. In a swift movement, you jump on the rodent and slit its throat. So that is another 4 raw meat right there. Absolutely marvellous. But the wheat is now gone. So possibly I should have actually not done that, because resources, well, the game was saying, oh, resources grow back. Possibly they only grow back if you don't harvest them down to nothing. So maybe what I should have done is 1 hunt and 1 gather there, and then no more. We'll see if that grows back, I don't know. Right, that's all done. Time to end the day. So everyone sits down together, and it's a rather pretty game, I must say. So, we get a quick little summary of what happened during the day, and yeah, depending on what mood everyone's in, they might kind of make up and their relationships will improve, or they might yell at each other and their relationships will go down a bit. And unfortunately, Eric actually just managed to get himself a little bit more depressed because he's angry and feels like this whole problem is his fault, because people came and burnt his village because of something he did in his past, diddly diddly. Yeah, there's also a story going on in the background. So, time to actually distribute the water. Unfortunately, one person is not dehydrated, so we just need to actually hand out the existing water. Unfortunately, handing out water isn't good enough, because if I hand over a full dose of water, that's only a 90% chance of lowering the dehydration level. So there's a possibility that one of these people might be given a whole water and not actually end up rehydrated anyway. So, possibly, hang on, is it more sensible to actually give 3 doses of 75% chance, and then you've got 1 left over for if you fail one of those rolls, then you've got a second go with somebody, except hang on, that will be 75 times... No, I can't do that maths off the top of my head, I can't figure that one out. Right, I'm just going to basically give people 1 each and sort of hope. So you have a water, and hopefully that will work. And you have a water, and we don't get to see how it goes until afterwards. So I've literally burnt all of my actual water there. Hopefully this will work. And... no, got unlucky. So she is still dehydrated. And as for food, we've got some perishable and some non-perishable. So maybe actually I shouldn't have gone hunting, so I had a cooking pot ready to go, because right now that is raw meat. So they can eat it, but it might cause sickness. Here we go. So raw meat will do a good job on hunger. However, yeah, there is a chance of sickness going up. Now, the fish does less on... actually, I'm kind of surprised, because, like, you know, meat, or at least some red meat, you can eat, you know, pretty much raw, and the risk is not huge, whereas eating raw fish, that's just a terrible idea. So, okay. If, apparently, the raw fish actually carries less risk of sickness and still does about the same amount of hunger, we may as well actually start handing over some, yeah, raw fish to you and raw fish to you. So sickness is sneaking up a little bit, but we're going to completely get rid of hunger for only a small increase in sickness. So basically, I'm just going to see if I can get lucky, and some of this meat might just actually... survive through. And actually, you didn't get that hungry. So, of course, the job they were doing actually changes how hungry they're going to get. So, what she was doing, apparently she didn't get very hungry, so we don't need to risk giving her any more. Unfortunately, yeah, she's now still dehydrated. Nothing we can do about that. May as well leave this food here, because, yeah, there's only a 20 to 50% chance that the stock will turn to rotten food. Well, there's no point actually just kind of stuffing our mouths with it now. Just because, well, actually, you know what? Go on. While it's only a very small risk, let's actually get these people a little bit actually empty on their old hunger meters. So that's fine. Ouch, your sickness just snuck up a little bit there. Oh well, we're just going to have to hope that that meat actually makes it through the night. And now, because of the unique trait, she gets a bit sicker because I think she's got a weak constitution. Everyone sleeps a little bit, so their fatigue goes down slightly, and we now have 3 rotten food. Oh well, maybe we can actually do something with that. And yeah, unfortunately, because we don't have beds or anything, we don't actually manage to get fatigue down that much, so everyone's a little bit tired. And in addition, it's now raining, so mental health's going to struggle. However, we do actually get some free drinking water, so there are benefits. Unfortunately, overnight, yeah, there's going to be problems overnight. The fire obviously isn't going to like the whole raining thing. People are going to get depressed. People aren't going to actually get that much sleep. Potentially going to end up more tired because they can't sleep at all in the cold and the wet. Okay, intriguing. Though actually it looks like, yeah, the fatigue positives, or rather the fatigue negatives, because fatigue's something you want to get rid of, it feels like the fatigue lowering is going to be more powerful than the fatigue gain, but they're going to nearly cancel each other out. So yeah, we should basically assume that there's not going to be much sleeping going on tonight, unfortunately. And yeah, fire intensity is going to be very bad indeed. So it's now morning. We've got a morning slot and an afternoon slot, then we're back onto evening. We've now got ourselves, yeah, over in the inventory, some rotten food. Now, you can't eat that, don't even ask, but we do still have some meat. So we do have some meat to go here. Now, what's the most sensible thing to do? Keep working on that lumber camp, because we need wood to keep the fire going. So keep the fire up. We right now don't have any drinking water. You keep heading down to the boat. I know it's a bit tiring and depressing, but yeah, you probably just need to stay there and keep searching for stuff in the shipwreck. We might get some good stuff out of that. That's okay. You keep working there. You are probably actually okay to not do scavenging for the time being in terms of water, because we're going to get... Actually, let's stockpile water while we've got the opportunity to. You're not too tired, so there's no need to rest you. And yeah, Kari probably continued just exploring, except something prevents the action. Aha! She physically can't explore because I needed to leave some spare water for her to take with her. Okay, I see the problem here. So you do actually need to handle that. Well, if you physically can't do that, then probably the best thing to do is just basically let you rest up for the time being. Now, we've also got a little bit of medicine here, because yeah, you can just use items on the go. So we got some ointment out of... did we get that out of the forest? I can't remember where we got that from. We might have arrived with that. That gets her sickness down a bit. So I'm going to use that now to make her a little bit less sick. You may as well, as you can't actually go out right now, just go to the shelter for the morning and get some rest. Now, we've also got, if someone's a bit on the depressed side, yeah, you're on the depressed side because you're scavenging for... Actually, no. No. Hang on. You go to the shelter. The shipwreck, I've got a plan. Which is, while you can't actually do anything in terms of exploring, Kari, how about you go down to the shipwreck, because you're actually pretty good at that. And as for Moira, her depression's sneaking up, so we got some mead there. Now we're going to be rolling a dice here, so there's a 50% chance that she gets -20 depression and she ends up excited, 25% -40 depression and ends up drunk. However, there's also a 25% chance she'll just end up with +10% sickness and also vomiting. Give it a go, and we got drunk. Okay, so we completely got rid of her depression. Honestly, that's not a terrible thing, really. I think that's okay. So, what does drunk do? It gives her additional courage, lowers wisdom, lowers intelligence, and yeah, actually less depression gain, and actually that's good. Because in the afternoon, once we've got some water, if I send Kari back out hunting, she's going straight back on the shipwreck. Now, the problem for her on the shipwreck is she's got low courage, so she gets depressed easily if I send her down to the shipwreck. So if she gets bonus courage and less depression increase, yeah, send her down to the shipwreck drunk. That works brilliantly. So everyone's in a good enough position for now. Let's get time ticking along. So, you are going to go down to the shipwreck and probably do a good job. Just get some wood, some rope, some fabric. Don't really know what to do with that yet. Some more raw meat. Fine. And, ooh, healing plants. Could be useful. You only pick up 11 fatigue and 11 depression. Fine, so you are good at that job. You just keep producing that there lumberyard or getting better at crafting. Yeah, needs a little bit more work. Yeah, and you're also getting a bit more tired. Fine. You're going to gather some water. That is 3.75 there. And also the weather gives us another 5.5 for free. So, for the moment at least, yeah, the rain is at least good for the water. We've got plenty of water, and her fatigue sneaks down. Marvellous. Except we've got ourselves a bit of an event here. Kari returns home running as if she saw a ghost in the forest, which is strange because she wasn't in the forest. She was supposed to be in the shipwreck, Kari. And there's... uh-oh. Right, well, this seems like a bad sort of thing. Who are these people? Huge muscular man walks in front of the group and he's holding 2 skulls. Oh, that is just not a good sign. Right, probably let Eric speak up here. Let's kind of chat warrior to warrior. Welcome, stranger, we come in peace. Our ship wrecked on the shore a few days ago. So his courage has just gone up. And she likes the fact that he actually spoke up there. You talk like women, wimp. And unfortunately, oh... Kari's not thrilled about that. Say welcome to my axe, coward. Right, so I'm guessing there's also combat in this game then. So he manages to wound or surprise Eric and then everyone charges into battle. So he's just picked up a small injury. Right, so we've got some fighting going on here. And he's stuck in the battle because, yeah, he actually is automatically engaged because he's the one that went forward to speak. So, let's see how combat works. So Moira as, yeah, a witch can basically do some weird stuff regarding, yeah, buffing me and debuffing enemies, and also as a healer, post-battle interest of the whole party go down a little bit. Fine. And then we have got my wife, protect a sturdy fighter with good defensive skills to help the entire party. I would say, and yeah, obviously we've got Kari, who's good at actually bows and whatever. How about we let you be on the front line here? So yeah, a warrior, so you get right up front, and then we bring Kari and the healer along. Let's see if we can make this work. So, in we go. Prepare to fight. Fights are turn-based. Good, I like turn-based. And we've got ourselves 2 health bars. Grey health bar, which seems to represent, like, armour or whatever, so that has no lasting effect. And yeah, then we've actually got our proper health bar, which actually has problems related to, yeah, causing injuries, wounds, probably sickness as well, etc, etc. Okay, fair enough. So, this guy comes in first and does, what was that? 2 damage to my armour. Fine. Next, it's up to Kari, who's got high initiative, so she gets to go next. So she has 10 health, she's at the back, so she can act as a ranged character. She's got 5 action points, and she has various skills she can use. And all of these guys, who are called pleasingly Plunderer, Plunderer, and Knives Guy. I like Knives Guy, that's a good name. So her abilities are Rain of Arrows, so she can basically use her entire turn to rain down arrows on, yeah, an entire row. So I can actually just land a hit on both of these guys at the back. Fine. Alternatively, she can go into an evasive stance to actually do some dodging and resist effects. That's pretty cheap to do. A sniper shot, which is a tiny bit cheaper. So, anyone in the melee row, damage 1 to 5, and the range row, damage between 1 and 4. Doesn't seem great for using up 4 action points there. You're next. Target any enemy in any row, and it lowers their damage resistance and critical resistance minus 10%. Fine. And if she were to be moved forward into the actual melee row, she could use hit and run. Actually, 80% damage 1, 2, 3. And it would also move her to the back. And it would be a random enemy in the melee row, but then there's only 1 enemy in the melee row. So that would do between damage 1 and 3. So probably, to my mind, it just seems like a good idea to just do Rain of Arrows to the rear. So, yeah, Rain of Arrows to these guys. So let's just do that. So she hits both of them, and she also gets a crit on one of those guys. That's a pretty good starting point. Lovely. And then it moves over to, yeah, my support character, Moira. What exactly are you planning to do? So she can pray to the gods to basically make, yeah, my frontliner a bit more accurate, have a tiny bit more dodge, bit more damage resistance, lovely. Or she can make the enemy dodge less and be able to do less, fine. 50-50 shot of doing 2 to 3 damage on the guy who's actually in the front row, and also increases her dodge and makes her move back, fine. Now she's only got 4 action points, but if she were to end her turn, she could save them up, and then next turn, she could do Uncanny Litany, targets all enemies in, all enemies in all rows for 1 to 2 damage each. And also, minimum damage -1, max damage -1, effects resistance minus 10%. Potentially of interest. And if she moved forward into the melee row, then she could use Surprising Blow, 60% accuracy, damage 1, 2, 3, and it would also put the initiative of one of those guys down a bit. I feel like potentially she might want to actually save up a little bit here. Except it's saying that end turn is actually focus, so that is AP plus 1. With AP only plus 1, as it removes all existing AP, that would only give her 5 next turn, so she still wouldn't be able to use this ability, so possibly... that one's a bit confusing, I'm not sure about that. You know what, I'm just going to throw down an Ancient Curse on these guys at the back. So that's just going to hinder them a little bit. So he's been debuffed, but not the other guy. I thought that was both of them, but maybe I... Oh, it's a random enemy in any row. Sorry, my mistake. In which case, yeah, she may as well focus just to get herself a little bit more AP. Ah, so she needs to actually focus for multiple turns before she can do anything. That guy comes in there, does some damage. Ah, Kari's got literally no armor. That's a bit of a problem. And they're actually focusing on her, so she's going to get herself pretty badly injured this whole time. That could definitely be a problem. And you are throwing an insult at her. What's that done? That's some form of debuff. Marvellous. Right, back to Eric. Let's see if we can get one of these plunderers down. And in particular, now 2 of them are actually standing in the same row, we can do another hail of arrows, which we definitely should do, I'd say. And his job is basically, yeah, to do a fair bit of damage to anyone directly in front of him. We can do a little bit of buffing, but he's also got big wild swings. So target any enemy in melee row, 85% 2 to 4 damage. Or, yeah, any enemy in melee row, this is the Berserk attack, so more powerful but only 70% accuracy. Or a wild swing. Here we go. All enemies in the melee row, 1 to 4, 65%. It's a bit on the expensive side, though. And in theory, I could actually get in 2 attacks that are more accurate, which seems like a good idea to me. Yeah, let's just get in 1 a melee strike and focus on this guy. Let's see if we can just get you out of the way. So that's 4 damage to that guy. Lovely. And next up, 1 to 3 damage. Yeah, this guy again. So just focus on him. That was a miss. That's a shame. Fine, his turn's over. One of you gets a go. It's Knives guy who comes in for a maim, but this guy's still got some armor. And has taken, yeah, actually just managed to resist some of it. Ah, here we go. Right, so we know what we want to do now. Rain of arrows on these lads, and that's a 2 and a 2. Marvellous. So those guys down to 2 hit points. Over to Moira. Moira, can you actually do any damage to kill one of these guys? Because I wouldn't mind him being out of the flipping way before he gets another turn in. Out of reach would hit a random enemy in the melee row. Okay, give it a go and sort of hope. So really hope it's this guy, and... doesn't matter because it missed regardless. Now she's still got, yeah, some action points. Only 2 though. Nothing she can do there. Right, may as well focus up a little bit. Fine. And actually, it's back to Eric because he has got apparently quite high initiative, so he gets to have another go already. Marvellous. So, priority number 1, get this guy down abso-flipping-lutely. So what's my most accurate attack? Probably the melee strike. Yeah, that's 85%. So go for that. And that's a crit, and that kills you. This guy's now down to 9. Lovely. And all I can do now is, yeah, either Warcry, but that's only guys in the current row, so that's not great. Though actually, I could do that first. If I wanted to really maximise damage, what I'd probably do would be a Warcry followed by a Berserk attack. Does that actually... yeah, that's accuracy plus 5%. So Warcry and Berserk's not actually that bad at all. Screw it. Go for a bull charge against this guy. And that's just 1 damage, but what have you, it does a little bit of good work there. And also, if he keeps doing that, his initiative's up, so he gets more turns. That's why he got a turn again so soon. However, Eric is starting to take a little bit of damage here. Back to Kari, who now unfortunately can't read Rain of Arrows anymore because they're in different rows. Well, in which case, Sniper Shot's probably the best then. She could go for this guy doing 1 to 4 damage, or this guy also doing 1 to 4. And that's actually a really, really good chance to hit, apparently. So, let's see what we can do. So if we get a crit, we'd actually finish this guy off. No, that's a crit, but didn't actually finish him off. That's a bit of a shame. What else can you do? Nothing else you can do aside from moving, so focus up instead. Give yourself some more action points for next time. Back to Eric. Good. Now, Eric, unfortunately, I'm not sure he's got anything he can do to the back row, because I'd like to finish off Knives guy, but... not sure I actually can. And yeah, with the Plunder at 8 hit points, it might be better if actually it does say the Bull Rush can actually hit that guy at the back. If I could hit that guy at the back, that might be quite flippin' nice, actually. Get him out of the way now. Can I actually hit you? No. No, I cannot. Instead, I'm going to Warcry and then Berserk against this guy. So, Warcry myself. There we go. Get my own accuracy and damage up. Lovely. And that leads into a Berserk attack. That's now up to 10 damage and 75% accurate. So, only 4. Bit unlucky there, to be honest, but we can finish him off with a sniper shot next time. So we're not doing too bad. Knives guy comes in with an aggressive lunge. Ouch! That is very concerning, actually. Okay, so Eric's slightly boned, and if he dies, that's game over. So Moira, what can you actually do here? Probably not a terrible idea for you to just go for out of reach again. Actually, what's the turn order here? Oh dear. So after this turn, the Barbarian gets a turn. So that's a problem. Because the Barbarian will probably, if he goes for Eric, Eric's pretty much done for. The only attack she's got is out of reach, a random enemy in the melee row. So I basically have no way of knowing who it's going to target. And even if it does target the right guy, actually, because it's the guy with 4 hit points, I don't think I can actually... I can't kill him anyway, and there's only a 50% chance of it hitting. Right, best option I've got is to pray for the gods and basically just get the accuracy and dodge up of Eric. And sort of hope. So I'm just going to pray for Eric. At this point, literally my plan is basically just prayer. And unfortunately, I strongly suspect the Plunderer is going to not have attacks to hit the rear. He's just going to go straight for Eric. So... This could be a concern. Take the focus because nothing else I can do. It's an insult. Good. An insult is good. Because an insult is not an axe to the face. Right. Uh-oh. No, he apparently can do something else. That's maybe a little bit on the concerning side. Well, game over hasn't actually shown up at this point. So that's good. Maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really, really badly wounded. Right, so what's the order of play here? And also, just a reminder, what exactly can you do? You can hit the range row. Okay, Kari, sniper shot to this guy. I want him dead, please. And when I say I want him dead, you didn't actually kill him, so that's not great. What else can I do to... Actually, I can get the dodge of this guy down. So let's get his dodge down, just to make sure that, yeah, Moira can finish him off. So you're next, I point to him aggressively. Over to Moira, who now uses her only ability. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have brought Moira. Good, that actually does damage to him. So he's actually dead at this point. That's nice. End the turn. Now, Knives Guy, what are you going to do at this point? Please don't kill Kari as well. No, Tactical Retreat, that's like 2 damage or something. And then he backs off to the rear row. And buff. And then he goes for a maim against Kari. That's another 2 damage. I maybe didn't bring the right team for this. I probably should have brought the person who's like really good at a fight or whatever. You know, the actual wife. But never mind. Right, sniper shot this guy. 90% chance to hit. There's 3 damage and deaths. So, victory. Unfortunately, oh dear. Eric is at hell's door. He just picked up a bunch of injuries. So it doesn't matter if you actually lose the combat, but yeah, you get some serious issues from, yeah, injury and whatever. And also, she's got a dislocated shoulder, so she's bad in battle for the time being for 6 days, and her strength is down. But that's fine. I don't think we really need her actual strength for much. So, we saw off the raiders. Oh, did we? Hopefully we did. Until the giant man enters the fray with a loud shivering laugh. Oh, we don't need you, come on. Right, so we're straight into another fight then. Oh, good. Eric, I think you need to go back in. Moira, you were pretty cocking useless. So, yeah, let's actually send the proper frontline team in on this occasion. Because apparently you are a good protector and a good frontliner. And then Kari's safe at the back. Right, so now we've got to take out an actual cocking boss. Oh, bloody hell. Bjorn Head Cleaver. Oh, that's just marvellously good news. So, in you go. Was that 10 damage? What the cock? Right, okay, so this is all marvellous, and comes in for... Right, so we just killed Kari in one... Okay, I feel like this is one of those meant-to-lose fights. Because I feel like I didn't really have much of a chance here. Right, well, I guess we've got to go big or go home at this point. So, go for a war cry on both of us. And follow it up with a berserk. Because a berserk can hit a melee row, but that is a melee row right now. Because there's no ranged row. Except... Wait, what? What is that? Right, no I can't, never mind. A bull charge it is then. So, get in there. That's a miss. Oh, that's just marvellous. This is just going spectacularly well right now. Okay, what are your abilities exactly? Damage 1 to 5 in the melee row and also makes you better at defending subsequently. Impenetrable wall, dodge plus 20%, critical resistance plus 5%, fine. She can just buff Eric up a bit. And she can also do a taunt that mysteriously does 2 to 4 damage, which is more than we actually do by smashing him in the face with an axe, so that's good. Okay, best I think we can do is the shield bash, because if we can lower his action points, we might be able to stop him doing so many attacks. So she moves, and then shield bashes him. And that's another miss, but the debuff is applied regardless. I guess you just end the turn there. And then he murders us, and then that's game over, I'm assuming. Because, yeah, he appears to only have 1 attack, and it does a lot of damage. You can also cleave. Yeah, you're just going to cleave again. I don't see how the hell you're supposed to win this. Especially as I actually reduced his action points, and he gets 3 attacks regardless. No, sorry, 4. He just got 4 actions in. So, I guess what we do is, yeah, this time we do have 5 action points. War cry into Berserker, because that's literally all we got right now. So, yeah, war cry into Berserk, and sort of... We actually haven't landed a single hit. Possibly this is actually a meant-to-lose fight. If not, I've just been stupidly unlucky, because he's about to cleaver me, and that's it, I'm dead. Yeah, 14 critical. I'm not convinced I was able to win that one. We've been defeated, and the game is not over, but injuries are bad, and now there's bleeding and dislocated shoulders. Right. So this is all not good. And he just does some gloating, and you know what? Quite right too. You absolutely handed our asses to us. Well done, sir. And I'm Bjorn, Head Cleaver Fools. Everything on that island is mine. So you are mine, Mud Eaters. I'll explain just once. I don't like talking. Keep your ears open. You will live until I decide you have no more value to me. Then your tiny freaking heads will add to my collection. Right, that was definitely a meant-to-lose fight. We're supposed to train up and then come back and kick that guy's ass later after we've got a lot better at our jobs. Got it. Oh dear. Every 7 moons, one of my underlings will come. You'll pay him tributes. Right, so yeah, that was definitely a meant-to-lose fight. And he wants 10 wood in 5 days. Honestly, that's not that bad. So maybe we just accept living as this guy's vassals for the time being. And in addition, everyone's a bit depressed about this. Can't really blame them, to be honest. In fact, actually, I'm surprised you're not all more depressed under the circumstances. So, new quest, wait for the first tribute. So I basically just got to save up enough wood for the tribute. That's fine. We've got plenty of flipping wood. It's okay, sir. You can have the wood. Right, well, in the afternoon, you, Kari, get back to exploring at this point. I know you're injured, and that's probably bad. In fact, actually, let's have a little look, see what that actually means. Over to the character sheets, please. So, injury 38% means minus 13% to all physical skills. So, including, yeah, her agility's down from 70 to 56, stealth down from 70 to 56, because of, yeah, the injury, the tiredness, and the dislocated shoulder probably doesn't help either. Yeah, that's another strength minus 10. So basically, a lot of her physical skills right now are pretty screwed. Well, I'm sorry, but you kind of have to go out anyway. And by the way, Moira, you did an awful job in the battle. But you're feeling weirdly not depressed about it. So back to the shipwreck with you. Because I believe, actually, that's why she's not depressed. Because she's drunk right now. I shouldn't have sent her into battle drunk. No. Still, everyone crack on, please. So we're just doing some more scavenging with her, gathering the wood. We need to pay off the guy who will otherwise literally murder us with a giant axe, who we stood absolutely no chance against. Oh, we found some cheese. Excellent. And some bandages. Excellent. We can use those to presumably patch up some of our injuries. And we get ourselves... Oh, crafting goes up. And lumber camp. Nice. So now there is the wood cutting activity available. So yeah, I can use my new bit of equipment. There it is. I can now actually generate wood a lot faster. And continue gathering water because we may as well stock up. Because as more options become available... Yeah, it would definitely be worthwhile. Yeah, there's more unclean water. And there's more... Wait. Sorry, which bit of the rain isn't clean? Because that's not how... Rain's always, like, clean, right? You can always drink rainwater. That's a thing, right? I thought that was a thing. New area discovered. Bam, ba, 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 bam. And she's almost fully explored the beach as well. And her constitution is going up as a result of doing that. Lovely. Right, so now it's the evening. Over to the map, what have we just discovered over here? We've discovered a brand new area in the forest. Ah, some fruit. So we could gather the fruit, except that's now saying... Why is that red? That's probably not a good thing. You know what? Leave this place for now, because we don't need, like, food in a hurry. So, best just get back to camp. Now, you got most badly injured, didn't you? Yes, so probably best we use some items on you. We've got some bandages. So, has a chance to remove a random wound trait. Doesn't actually reduce the injury stat, but... There we go. Bleeding has been healed. Good. That was probably a good thing. Who else has got an actual wound trait on them? Dislocated shoulder, and I think you've got one as well, right? And... Yeah, you've got a dislocated shoulder. And also, I'm not sure if she was always bulimic, but apparently she suffers from bulimia. So, yeah, there's some interesting traits available in this game. So, dislocated shoulder only lasts for 2 days, and it's only impacting her strength. Let's actually save the badges in case something a lot worse shows up. And as for crafting, yeah, it strikes me that probably what I want to do right now as a priority is... Can I actually get a cooking pot feels like the right thing to do. So cooking activity for one character. Also, we can make salt. Yeah, we absolutely need to cook that meat. Get that underway. Don't know how long that's going to take exactly, but presumably some time. And Eric, you're a bit depressed right now. Here, have some booze and... He's excited for 2 days. Good. We actually probably got the best result there. He's lowered depression a bit, but he's also excited. Let's see what excited actually means there. Over to your character sheet. Traits and excited for 2 days. Ah, less depressed overnight. Good. Good, 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 good. That's almost certainly a good thing. And the bare minimum, yeah, end the day. Let's get everyone over here. You're probably not thrilled about how that fight went, to be honest. Now, we've got plenty of water for now, so everybody gets some lovely water. Water for everyone, huzzah. And also, mysteriously, you just don't seem to get thirsty, which possibly means you've just been sneaking water out of the water barrels while you've been gathering the water. Which is fair, I suppose. Go on, then. So hopefully that will. Okay. We've been really unlucky with you. I gave you 2 full doses of water, and you're still dehydrated 1. Now, we've got... cheese is apparently non-perishable, which doesn't strike me as true, but whatever. Right, so, guys, help yourself to some lovely food right now. I know it's kind of raw. We will have a cooking station, like, as soon as possible. And let's just kind of hope that that raw meat actually lasts. And yeah, we definitely don't want to be eating crap meal. The rotten food is officially listed in the game as a crap meal. Marvellous. Yeah, we don't want to be doing that. And as for the cheese, still does carry a little bit of sickness, so apparently these people are just not fans of cheese. Now, night effects. Everyone's lost a little bit of fatigue. The fire's gone down a lot, so... yeah, looks like actually we've still got 1 bit of meat left in the pantry, but mostly it's all garbage at this point. Fine. We've got... oh, bloody hell, now it's a storm. Great. So depression flies up, fatigue flies up, we still get plenty of water, which is fine. The fire is completely screwed, depression's going to go through the roof. Ah, marvellous. And also, every half day a random station will be damaged slightly. Because yeah, everything's also got condition. So if we look at the workshop, for example, hang on, can we... how do we look at you? Here we go, for example, the shelter up here, right now that is at 64% condition. So... I might need to repair that at some point, but I'd need to spend wood and whatever to do that sort of thing. So water is just flying in right now automatically. So almost certainly a good idea, as the fire's in a bit of trouble, for you, Bredawen, or whatever your name is, to instead be focusing on producing wood. You've got an okay amount of strength, if not spectacular. Actually, I think you've still got a dislocated shoulder, don't you? Hang on. Character sheet. Are you still dislocated? Yeah, okay. So we'll try and actually bandage up your shoulder before you actually get going on that. See if you get lucky here. So, yeah, bandage this up here. And there we go. Good. We also got given overnight in the little dialogue some potions. So, drink before fire walking and fire eating, minus 20 injury. Good. So, luckily, Moira just had some last few potions on her. That is very, very good indeed. Now, I'm going to give 2 of those to Eric, because he really needs to be, like, you know, not injured, because he's the one doing some of the hardest physical work right now, doing all of the crafting, and very likely moving over to the actual wood stuff as well. We've got 1 spare bandage still. We've got the ointment to get his sickness down. Leave that in case of emergencies. Don't let him get drunk again. He's still excited for 2 days. So you do that. You go out and explore for the time being. And ideally find some creatures to hunt because we actually need more meat. Yeah, that'll have to do. And water will just come in by itself. So, you straight back down to the ship. We're still getting wood from that, but you can only search that so many times. After 10 searches, the shipwreck is officially scavenged. Ooh, dried meal. Good. Good, good, good. Also, you're really getting the good stuff all of a sudden. Like, I feel you should have got that stuff out first. Now, how long is it going to take to make that cooking station? You're getting better at crafting, which is marvellous. And you've also leveled up. Bum, ba, da, ba, 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 bum. Spent some wood and spent some stone to begin producing the cooking pots. That is still a good 2 or 3 days away. And unfortunately, the condition of that thing started going nuts. Right, okay, so presumably that got struck by lightning or something. I don't know. And we're up to pretty much full water, automatically off the back of the storm. You can actually chop some wood, so that's another 5 wood there. Marvellous, and you're also getting stronger. And you're already pretty strong, but that's really tiring work, so you've got to watch out for that. Kari takes a tiny bit of water out of the camp with her and goes exploring and gets better and better at it too. Marvellous. There's the beach. New area. Good, good, good. Might be some good resources there. Oh, but she also ran into an encounter. So now that we've run into the bandits, there's going to be some bandits just dotted around. Okay, hopefully we can actually win this fight, however. So, yes indeed. Now it's a little bit less bad than it actually was. So, let's take out the main lad here. So, you, sniper shot straight over to this guy, please. And that is... What do you mean 0? How is that... Wait, what? Well, I guess technically it was able to get 0 to 5, so... Well done. Okay. Focus in that case, as you literally managed to just roll a 0. Knives guy runs in with the aggressive lunge. Does 2 damage, but she's got plenty of armor on her. And then moves forward. Right, speaking of which, back to her. Do you have any attacks that hit the entire group? No, she does not. So in which case, actually, nice thing about her is, because none of her abilities have more than 3 action points, she can always get 2 actions off in the same turn. So probably it's best to, yeah, get a shield bash in, and then follow it up with a turtle strike. For even more damage, it's pretty accurate, and it gets her damage resistance up. So go on then, shield bash this guy, and that is... Okay, we're being a little bit on the unlucky side here. Well in that case, yeah, go for an 80% turtle strike at least, and then at least you're a bit tougher. Fine, you've done 1 damage there. We're being really flipping unlucky with this. Right, that guy comes in, and good, goes for the axe throw against her. That's a good miss right there, marvellous. Probably gets another attack in, not quite. Now, him I could do with actually moving forward into the actual main melee line. Now, you do have a wild swing. 65% hits all enemies in the melee row. Yeah, go for it. Take a swing. And... double miss. Oh, this is just going spectacularly well so far. Right, back to Kari, who at least can now do rain of arrows because they're both on the front. So that's a 2 and a 1. Good, you're actually hitting some people now. That's nice, and you've still got 1 action point. End the turn and focus. Hopefully, maybe you can get like 2 attacks in next time. So, Knives guy goes for the tactical retreat. So that's a miss, and then he backs off to the rear row. Fine. And I assume that also gives him... Oh, he's just going for a focus. Fine, so that's the end of his turn. So he did nothing. That's fine. This is going much better. Axe throw back at Kari. is a very lucky miss as well, because Kari's got no armor whatsoever flipping ever. Right, you've now got 5 action points this turn, so you can get a 3 and a 2 in. So probably best to go for, yeah, a melee strike than a bull rush, because the bull rush means you can get another attack in sooner. So go for this guy. That's a 4. That's nice. Okay, now we're doing some good stuff here. As well as, yeah, the bull rush. That's initiative up. Go. And that's a miss, but I think you still get the buff. Hopefully you still get the buff, right? Yeah, initiative +1. Right. Over to her. He's got 4 health left. The shield bash is 80% accurate. That really should be hitting. Okay, I'm just being really stupidly unlucky right now. Right, go for another turtle strike to turtle up a bit, and what the hell? Both of those were 80% plus chances to hit. Alright, all that luck I've been having in XCOM is basically I'm paying for it now. Okay, luckily, her turtle strike means that did nothing. He moves forward and then focuses up, and that works really well because now they're in a great position to be hit by another hail of arrows. So that is, oh, that's a critical 5 and you dead. Excellent. You just focus up in that case. Right, so exploring is not as simple as it first looked. Exploring now has a chance of running into encounters. Now, I can actually set the exploration to be stealth-focused rather than explore-focused, but then you explore a lot more slowly, but you potentially don't get as many encounters. But then again, simple encounters might be a good source of loot. So, what do I want to do here? I could do a war cry. That's accuracy for this entire row. Honestly, screw it. I'm being so unlucky on the accuracy. Let's war cry up just to make sure that does actually happen. So now this is 85% chance to hit and initiative up. That's a critical 3. Good. And yeah, the actual guy who was supposed to be up next is dead. So that means it's over to her, and she's also gaining that plus 5% accuracy. So, if we're lucky, this is now, yeah, 85% chance to hit. Okay, I don't like you either, game. Oh, I'm lying. I do actually like this game. I've been having great fun with this game. Right, one more turtle strike for more defense. Oh, that's a 5. Is that enough? Not quite, irritatingly. Fine. Back over to you. What's your plan? Probably a tactical... No, a maim, but a maim against someone who's got some really good defense, and she's still got the armor. Right, I like Bledawed. She's quite good. And now straight back over to Kari. Yep, go for the sniper shot, and any damage at all... kills him. Very, very nice indeed. And I don't think anyone actually took any damage, because, yeah, you're unscathed because it never made it past the armor. And for that, we actually get... we get some rotten food. Huzzah! But we do actually get some fabric and some wheat as well. So that might be useful in time. Because, yeah, exploration, you can set that to, yeah, focus on stealth or focus on exploration. So let's keep focusing on exploration for the time being. However, we've got ourselves, yeah, new location down here at... the beach. And there is an ornate coffer. Okay, open with finesse, open by force, check the surroundings. Maybe check the surroundings using Kari, because I'm a bit concerned as to what's going on here. Something bugs you. The chest seems to have been abandoned not that long ago in plain sight. Yeah, 95% search for something unusual. What exactly is going on here? You fear an ambush, you carefully search the surrounding area, find no one alive. What you do find, though, are 2 dead Norsemen and a dead furry creature you've never seen before. Okay, intriguing. The one with his trousers down was relieving himself when he was attacked by a big unknown creature. His friend killed the beast, not before suffering a fatal wound to the abdomen. Okay. So apparently that means it's safe to take their stuff. So pelts and booze, that'll help with depression if that gets out of control. And unfortunately, while you were away from the chest, someone smashed open and looted everything valuable. Oh well, never mind. And that actually makes me more depressed because apparently that was an unfortunate bad decision. No matter. Now, camp condition. We desperately need to repair the workshop, like now. Except to repair the workshop, I needed to actually spend my stone... and I don't have any more stone or any way to get more stone for the time being. So, this is all just going spectacularly well. On the plus side, you've just leveled up, which is nice. Let's have a look and see what that means. Aha, we get to choose a new trait. He can be beautiful. He can be just beautiful. Or I can make him better at fighting, better at exploring, ferocious beast. Ah, initiative up, accuracy and critical up. Ah, but dodge goes down. So these aren't just, well, some of them aren't just pure benefits. They're also trade-offs. I'm going to say that initiative +2 is worth... Oh, action points -1. Okay, that's not worth it. Agile Duelist means minimum damage -1. So, yeah, the damage range you're rolling is basically going to be less favourable. But for accuracy and dodge, I'll take Agile Duelist. Yeah, sure, why not? Ah, and as it turns out, the relationships between the characters is important if you want to have two people doing the same thing at the same time. Ah, okay, I haven't really been doing that so far, but it's nice that that's a system as well. And Blodderwed, I don't think you should potentially be doing any more wood chopping today. You're too tired for that. So you just basically go back to the shelter for the time being. Actually, I think the day's over anyway, so it's fine. The fire, however, needs to be very much stoked. The storm is bad for the time being. So yeah, just stoke up the fire. We've got loads of wood. And that means now, yeah, everyone does their... Oh, everyone is actually doing their afternoon thing. That's fine. You didn't need to do any more wood chopping. It's better you just get some rest. We've actually got some raw vegetables. Good. When that cooking pot is actually done, we can actually make ourselves a nice thing there. Oh, your fatigue is getting high, as is your depression. We need to watch you. Maybe give you a day off tomorrow. Cooking pot's still improving, but yeah, that is going to take another 2 days. Sadly, that won't be done in time for tomorrow evening's meal. So that is a shame. Weather effect means, oh bloody hell, that storm has just knackered the condition of my buckets. Luckily, I imagine, by the look of them, I can repair them with wood. So that will not be a big deal, hopefully. And fatigue does not go down much. And you just keep exploring. Take a bit of water with you. And the beach has actually been explored as well. Marvellous. And actually, another beach too. Great. Oh, but we've run into yet another encounter. That's fine. I think we've got actually a good team here right now. Ah, this is useful. Her taunt ability is accurate and also pulls people forward, which is very good for following up with, yeah, a big actual slash attack from Eric. That's very, very good indeed. And now just turtle up against this guy. There we are. Just keep that defense ticking up. Lovely. Now, Eric obviously has to move forward. I'm not sure why he didn't really start at the front. He just didn't. So, 4 hit points to go here. Probably the best thing we can do with you is, for 1 turn accuracy up, and if you've only got 4 action points, screw it. Take the wild swing. Just see what you can do. And a miss and a 1. Great. Well done, Eric. I seem to be very, very unlucky in these fights. Yeah, nice simple victory. No one actually made it through our defences. Yeah, day to day in the early game, it feels like it's actually a good idea to actually run into as many encounters as possible. You get free stuff, and as long as you just handle them carefully, you take barely any penalty for it. So, those beaches I just uncovered, dirty clothes, I could take them, or search for the owner. Right, search for the owner just for safety, and yeah, use a stealth character. This is a good idea. And the owner is dead, crushed by a fallen tree. Marvellous. And I can search the beaver dam that led to his actual death, or I can just search the corpse. I'll search the corpse, because the dam's a 50-50 shot. Okay, what do we actually have here? And I pick up a bit of sickness, but also a bunch of arrows. Or am I actually burning through arrow ammunition when I fight with her? I don't know, you know. And also, the clothes are still there, so I may as well take them. Scavenge. You are actually good at scavenging, because you've been doing a lot of scavenging down by the shipwreck, so Moira comes to take care of that. And don't take everything, just take the clean clothes. I don't want to get more sick. That gets my scavenging up a little bit, and just some fabric. Nothing major. And on the other beach, a lost shipment. I could search for loot or take the wood. The wood's fine, search for the loot instead. So we need exploration and scavenging for this. Well, Kari's definitely the right person for it then. So what do we have? I could search the sandbank for exploration or dig under the barrel for scavenging. Search the sandbank. Your exploration skill's pretty good. 2/3. And we pass the skill check. And what do we have here? Shimmering light in the sand catches your eye. What have we got? Depression down. And we've got ourselves a fire crystal. Probably something good pertaining to fire there. Crystals seem to glow from inside. You've never seen anything like that. Well, whatever it is, we simply do not know what it does yet. Now, the water supplies, yeah, took a knock, but that's fine because we've got plenty of wood so we can fix it up with the wood. And actually, with wood, we can also fix up the shelter. Let's get the shelter in excellent condition because we sleep in there, so that's probably a good idea. Now, everyone's fatigue's creeping up from the storm, and depression's going up. In fact, she's getting dangerously tired. We've got to be careful with Bredowed, because she's getting really tired right now. And also, I don't have that much food to hand out, unfortunately. Right, you have that. You have that. Please sort out your dehydration anytime you're bloody ready. Right, so, yep, get rid of that. Oh, finally, she's drunk enough bloody water. But yeah, you are really exhausted and I need to be careful. Right, and everyone's getting a bit hungry. So here, have some flippin' meat and whatever. And tomatoes. Sorry, tomatoes make your depression go up. What do you have against tomatoes? Tomatoes are delicious. Right, let's actually just give her some of the dried meat we found in the shipwreck. Is everyone not too hungry? You can have a little bit more too. There we go. Save the rest of it. This is all starting to look a bit more dicey. Now everyone's fatigue goes down a little bit as a result of sleeping. The fire goes down too. Whatever was left of our food has gone from... Okay, so food goes to... I think it goes from normal food to crap meal to totally rotten. And then it cannot be eaten full stop. Fine. So there are actually stages to food rotting. And would you believe it's still bloody rainy? Right. Well, that's just fun. Depression increases going up, which is, yeah, it's a flipping noose, the depression symbol. This game's not kidding around. It's pretty grim. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think you get the point. This here is Dead in Vinland, and though no one's actually died yet, it kind of feels like, yeah, it lives up to its title. It is a quite grim little survival game that feels actually like, yeah, there's a pleasing amount of depth here. It's quite hardcore. There's a lot to juggle and manage, and you get screwed over. But though there's an element of luck, it doesn't actually feel actively unfair to me. It's a lot of fun stuff to do. I particularly like the exploring and filling out the entire map and all the little kind of, you know, skill checks you run into down there, and the fact that characters have relationships and quite complicated character sheets. You have to figure out who's good at what, and they can change their specializations over time naturally by practicing. And in addition, if you want to, when you level them up, you can actually kind of, you know, change their specializations by giving them new perks and whatever. Yeah, there's a lot here to like. This actually isn't out yet, by the way. This is actually out in, I believe, about 2 weeks. Or thereabouts. I'll put a link in the description below anyway, just in case you want to pre-order it or wishlist it or whatever. It certainly seems like a very nice little promising one to me. This isn't quite the game in its 100% final form. This is a preview version, so they might make some slight changes yet. But from what I've seen so far, yeah, I'm impressed. It's a fun little thing. Maybe this will return as a live stream at some point. I don't know. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Dead in Vinland. Thank you very much, and goodbye. We have got a gate key here, and then we have got... I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! This is going to take all of my skill and cunning as a hunter to sort out... Die, you mooing bastards! Die! Die! Go away. Go away, nobody likes you. That was a good idea till it wasn't.